Alright, so that's the song we're going to learn today. It's called Killing Floor by Howlin and his guitarist, obviously, Hubert Sumlin. And a lot of cool licks in this song. It's one of my favorite blues songs probably ever to play on the guitar just because it's so fun. And there's really only 3 parts that we need to learn. So let's go ahead and learn them. Alright, so the intro is going to sound a little bit like this. Okay, what that is, just to jump start us off, you're going to bar on the bottom 4 strings, so the D, the G, the B, and the E. You're going to bar all 4 of those on the 12th fret of the guitar. Then you're going to use your middle finger, and you are going to play on the G string. You're going to play on the 13th fret. Okay, and you're just going to play those bottom 4 strings. You can go... Okay, so it's an E7 is what it is, just like a little part of an E7. And you're just gonna strum it a couple of times like this. Okay, then you're gonna slide what you've got up to the 10th fret, but then you're gonna add a finger. So what that is you're barring the G, the D, the G, the B, and the high E, all on the 10th fret. Your middle finger is going to go on the G string of the 11th fret, and then your ring finger is going to go on the 12th fret of the D string. So it's going to be like this. So now you're playing the D string. You're playing still the bottom 4. Okay. It's that same shape you had, but you're sliding it down to the 5th fret. So that's going to be barring the 5th fret. Then, so barring the D, the G, the B, and the E, middle finger on the 6th fret of the G, and then ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Alright, and then you're going to need this chord several times. It's called an E9, and so middle finger is going to go on the A string of the 7th fret. It's your E note. Then your pointer finger is going to go on the 6th fret of the D string. And then this is kind of crowded here, so you have to figure out the best way for you. But the ring finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the G, and your pinky is going to go on the 7th fret of the B. So that's going to be a E7. You don't play the low or the high E string. Okay? And then you're ready to start the song. So altogether that would be... 5th fret. Okay, and then you're ready to start. And so, this is a 12-bar blues, and so it's your typical, the 2 first lines of the verse repeat, and then it is a new line. Okay, so that's kind of the way you think. If you're just trying to sing it in your head and go along without having to think of like music theory or timing and all that, just singing along in your head. So it'd be, I should have quit you, baby. Time ago. Alright, here comes the change. I should have quit you, darling, a long time ago. I should have quit you, baby. That's your next change. Down the killing floor. Alright, so what that would be, so you're starting, it's in A. So essentially doing a little riff over an A7, you're doing a riff over a D9, and you're doing a riff over an E9. The cool thing about this is once you learn it once, the riff, it's just moving. So it's really like if you can master that, you just got to figure out how to move it, okay? I'm actually going to show you 2 ways you could do this, but here we go. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you're kind of, the way I play this, now you can single pick this. Sounds just fine, especially like if you're accompanying somebody. But I like to strum it because I'm usually playing by myself. So strumming the whole thing, but I'm muting all the other strings except for the strings I'm playing, which is a little bit more difficult. You can either do it with your right hand and using your palm, or you can do it with your left hand underneath it. But again, you can just single pick, and I'll teach you the notes, and then I'll let you decide. So I go like this. So you can hear the dead strings in there. They're kind of like the percussion. But you can single pick it if you'd like. Okay, but here are the notes. So you're going to start with your middle finger on the low E string of the 5th fret. You hit that twice. And then you're going to go to the 4th fret of the A string. So that's what it's going to sound like. What that is the 4th fret. So it's the 5th fret of the low E twice. Then you go into the 4th fret of the A string. Then the 5th fret of the A string. Now you can do this with one finger. You really could do it with one finger. It would be like. I never changed my fingers. I just slid around that pointer finger from each one because you're going the 4th fret on the A string, the 5th fret on the A string, the 6th fret of the A string, and the 7th. You're really walking up half steps each time. So you can do it with just one finger, or you can designate each finger for a fret. What I mean by that is when you're playing the A string, if you're playing the 4th fret, it's the pointer finger, the 5th fret's the middle finger, the 6th fret of the A string is the ring finger, and then the pinky can be the 7th fret. Now what I typically do is the pinky to me always has a mind of its own. At least that's what I have found. So what I'll do is I'll play the bass, the first 2 notes, which are on the low E string of the 5th fret with my middle finger, and then I'm going to play the 4th fret A string with my pointer finger. Middle finger is going to be the 5th fret of the A string. Then I'm going to use my ring finger for the 6th fret and the 7th fret. So slowing that down, those are your notes. So the riff goes like this. Repeat. I should have quit you, baby, a long time ago. I should have. Alright, so now I'm going to sing the song again, or sing the line again. And now we're switching. You're going to do the same thing you just did here. But what you're going to do is you're going to drop everything down a string. So what I mean by that is the next phrase is going to start with your middle finger on the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D note. And then you're doing that same thing that we just did. You're going to go the 4th fret of the D string, the 5th fret of the D string, the 6th fret of the D string, and the 7th fret of the D string. Okay, so it's the same thing, but it's a different, you're on different strings. So that's the second part of it. Speeding it up so we can get to it. Alright, now we're going to switch. Okay, so same thing, and then when we're getting to the last part, which would be switching to the 5 chord, the E, and this would be the line that changes. So the first 2 lines would be like something like, I'm gonna quit you, baby. I should have quit you, baby, a long time ago. Repeat that twice with those 2 phrases that we just learned. And now, same type of phrasing, exact same type of phrasing, but you are going to move this up 2 frets. So that means you're going to start with your middle finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and then it's going to be your pointer finger is on the 6th fret of the D, middle finger is the 7th fret of the D, ring finger is going to be the 8th fret of the D, and then either your ring finger or your pinky is going to be on the 9th fret of the D. Or again, you could just use one finger this entire song, just using your pointer or your middle finger, just sliding it up and down for that part. Now you're going to need more fingers when we get to the solo, but we'll get there. Okay, I told you I was going to teach you 2 ways So I will do that. The second way you can do this, if you would like to, either way it doesn't quite matter because it's the same notes, but okay, so the first part's the same, right? Now, instead of switching to the A string and the D string, you can stay using the low E and the A string, but you're gonna have to slide all the way up to the 10th fret. So you start the phrase with your middle finger on the 10th fret of the low E, then your pointer finger on the 9th fret of the A, the 10th fret of the A, the 11th fret of the A, and the 12th fret of the A. So it sounds like this instead. Should quit you, baby, a long time ago. Alright, so now we're gonna switch our second way. I should have quit you, baby, long time ago. And then to your E, instead of going back to your normal one that we just learned, you can do the same thing down here. Okay, so what that would be is your low E is on the 12th fret of the E, and then you got the A on the 11th fret, A on the 12th fret, A on the 13th, and A on the 14th. What I forgot to mention is once you go to the third one, which would be the E note, whether you do it here on the 7th of the A or the 12th of that low E, then you're going to immediately go back to the D note, which would be either you've chosen to do the 5th fret of the D or the 10th fret of the D. So at the end, when you're doing the turnaround, it would go same phrases you've learned, you're just walking down. So same, if you choose to use the A and the D string, it would be. So let's put that all together, and we'll use the first one we did and the second one we did. So it'd be. Alright, we'll just switch for speed purposes. There's the first one. Oop, bad note. And then, when you're done with you've been through everything, your turnaround is to just hit that E9 again that we learned in the intro. Okay, that's it. Now, the last part is the solo. This is a really, really cool solo. You get to play it by yourself. Typically solos, when you think of blues, are like single note picking. This has got kind of a groove and almost like a funky strumming with it. And it's gonna sound like this. That's the first part. Okay, what that is you're gonna slide up to, we're getting a little Robert Johnson in here. You're gonna slide up to, the middle finger is on the 9th fret of the G, your pointer finger is on the 8th fret of the B, and your ring finger is on the high E string of the 9th fret. And you're gonna strum that like this. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that whole shape, go down a fret with every string. So that's gonna be your middle finger is on the G string of the 8, your pointing finger is now on the B string of the 7th, and your ring finger is now on the high E string of the 8th. So it's. And then you're gonna hit, so you're gonna go. And what that is kind of similar to our intro. You're barring the D, the G, the B, and the E at the 5th fret, and then just putting your middle finger on the 6th fret of the G string. And you can hammer on that middle finger on and off, so it'll just sound however much you want to do it. So together that sounds like. And you do that again. So that would be the slow, like I slowed it down, but it would sound like. Okay, the second part of the solo would be over the D, and what that is It's the same idea as what we just learned, but it's just higher up on the neck. So what you're doing is you're going all the way. Your middle finger is on the 14th fret of the G, your pointer finger is on the 13th fret of the B, and your ring finger is on the high E of the 14th fret. What's really cool is whenever you start playing down at the 12th fret or higher, people think you are the guitar hero of the world. So this is kind of cool. Alright, same thing, you'll slide that down one whole fret with every string. So that means now you're going, which is the middle finger on the 13th fret of the G, pointer finger on the B string of the 12th, and then ring finger is going to be on the high E of the 13th fret. So it's, and then it's the same idea that we had when we started the solo in the A section. So this is the D section. You're going to take your pointer finger and bar the D, G, B, and E at the 10th fret, and then just your middle finger is going to be on the 11th fret of the G string. So that together, slow would be, and then you go back to the first thing that you already learned, so we're not going to go through that again. It's just the. Now what I do, this might not be exactly what Hubert Sutherland does in the song, but I still think it sounds pretty cool, is you're going to go. And what that is you are barring the G, B, and E with your first finger at the 9th fret, and then you're taking your middle finger and you're playing the high E string of the 10th fret, and you're stretching that pinky out to the 12th fret of the high E string. So you're playing 12, pulling it back off to where it's the 10th fret of the high E string, and then you're sliding that all up 2 frets, or down 2 frets actually. So you're barring the G, B, and E of the 7th fret, and then that middle finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the high E. Do the same thing where you're using your pinky now, this time on the 10th fret of the high E. So it'd be, and then you're gonna go right back into your first, what you did in the song, which is the turnaround E9, and then you're ready to go right back into the song. So that solo again, we'll do it slow. And that's the whole song. So I'm going to put a link in the description to my version of this that I put up on my YouTube channel. If you want to listen to the whole song in its entirety and then come back to this, as I always do. Until next time, I hope this helps. Hope you keep playing the blues, and I'll put up another video soon. Thanks, guys.